Alright everyone, and welcome back to AutoNerveX. Today is a very special day. We've been waiting for this one for a long time. Parked right behind me is not just a car. It's a statement. It's an event. This is the 2026 Ferrari 812 GTS, and we're going to cover every single detail about what makes this machine so incredible. We're talking its stunning exterior, the jaw-dropping interior, the earth-shattering performance, and of course what it takes to make one of these your own. So let's not waste another second, starting with the exterior. The 812 GTS is a masterclass in design that serves a purpose. Every single curve, every vent, every line is there for a reason, primarily to manage the insane amounts of heat and air that a 12-cylinder engine of this caliber produces. The long, sculpted hood seems to go on forever, housing that monumental V12 underneath. The front end is low and aggressive, with those signature Ferrari headlights that look like they're squinting, ready to attack a corner. Move along the side, and the proportions are just perfect. It's a front-engine GT car, so it has that classic Grand Tourer silhouette, but with a level of muscular tension that tells you it's anything but relaxed. And then you get to the rear, which is arguably the best angle. The quad taillights, the massive diffuser, and those twin exhaust pipes. It's pure automotive theater. But the star of the show, without a doubt, is the retractable hardtop. With the press of a button in just 14 seconds and at speeds up to 45 kilometers per hour, you can go from a sleek, coupe-like cruiser to an open-air symphony. Ferrari engineered the roof to stow away without sacrificing any of the cabin space, so you don't lose an inch of that gorgeous interior. It's a flawless design operation. And speaking of the interior, let's step inside. Sliding into the driver's seat of a Ferrari is always an occasion, and the 812 GTS does not disappoint. You are immediately surrounded by a cockpit that is entirely focused on you, the driver. Everything is angled towards you. The main instrument cluster is a beautiful, classic Ferrari circular tachometer, now flanked by high-definition digital screens that can be configured to show you anything you need. The quality of materials is, as you'd expect, absolutely top tier. You're looking at acres of the finest leather, flawless Alcantara on the seats and steering wheel, carbon fiber accents, and beautifully milled metal switches and knobs. It feels special, it feels expensive, and it feels built for speed. The steering wheel is a work of art, housing the ignition button, the Manettino dial to change the driving modes, and the turn signals. There are almost no stalks on the column. It's alright, they're at your fingertips. The infotainment screen is there in the center dash, but it's secondary. You're not here to play with a touchscreen. You're here to drive. The seats are incredibly supportive, holding you firmly in place. Yet they're also surprisingly comfortable, reminding you that this is a car you could, and absolutely should, drive across a continent. But let's be completely honest. You don't buy a Ferrari, and especially not this Ferrari, for the roof or the interior. You buy it for what's under the hood. And what's under the hood of the 812 GTS is nothing short of mechanical divinity. This is a 6.5-liter naturally aspirated V12 engine. No turbos, no hybrid assistance, just pure, unadulterated internal combustion. And the numbers it produces are staggering: 800 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque. It redlines at 8,900 revolutions per minute. Let that number sink in. 8,900 revolutions per minute. Starting this engine is an event in itself. It barks to life with a ferocity that tells you exactly what you're dealing with. Pull the right paddle to engage first gear, and you're off. The power delivery is instantaneous and linear because there's no turbo lag to worry about. It just builds and builds and builds, the sound escalating from a deep, menacing growl at low revs into an absolute, metallic, screaming wail as you approach that dizzying redline. It is one of the greatest sounds ever produced by a machine. The 7-speed dual-clutch transmission is lightning fast, firing off shifts with brutal speed and precision. But the real magic is how this car handles all that power. The steering is razor-sharp and full of feedback. The rear wheel steering system makes it feel incredibly agile and nimble for a car of its size and front-engined layout. It turns into corners with an eagerness that defies physics. You can feel the chassis working, the electronics subtly working in the background to keep you safe, but the feeling is always pure, always analog. It's a massive amount of power, but it's delivered with such sophistication and control that it never feels intimidating. It feels empowering. This is a car that rewards skill and involvement. It's not just about going fast in a straight line. It's about celebrating the entire act of driving. Now, for the question everyone wants answered, what does it cost? The 2026 Ferrari 812 GTS is not just a car. It's an exclusive piece of engineering art. The starting price for a base model is right around $450,000. But as anyone who has ever configured a Ferrari knows, the base car is just a starting point. Once you delve into the options list, the special paints, the extensive carbon fiber packages, the personalized interior trim, the premium audio system, you can very easily add another $150,000 to that figure without even trying too hard. So, a well-spec'd example will comfortably sit in the mid to high $500,000 range. This places it in a realm occupied by very few, making it as much a financial statement as it is a performance one. So, what's the final verdict? The 2026 Ferrari 812 GTS is quite simply one of the last great analog supercars. In an era where everything is going turbocharged and hybrid, this car stands as a glorious, screaming testament to the purity of a naturally aspirated V12. It offers the ultimate combination, the thrilling, uncompromising performance of a track weapon with the elegance and open-top freedom of a grand tourer. It is an experience, an event, and quite possibly one of the greatest cars ever to wear the prancing horse badge. It's not just about the numbers, it's about the soul. And this car has soul in abundance. That's going to do it for this review. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 812 GTS, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to AutoNervex for more. Let us know in the comments below what your ultimate dream car is. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.